Good evening, ATM. Welcome to Atulith's Trainer Matrix, the Grand Trainer Showdown. Today we have Megha and we have Divya who are going to take us along in their journey. And, you know, we are going to celebrate along with them their growth, their learning, and how they have evoluted as a trainer. So, before we go on, this is our final challenge for our Wave 1.0. And today, it's just not another lab. We are celebrating all over. Over the past weeks, each one of us, we have experimented, we have practiced, we had good banters going on. And in a fun way, we polished our facilitation skills. And today, both of you over here, you bring your signature 20-minute session, your micro masterpiece to the stage. So, like I said previously, Atulith has always believed that training is not just about teaching, it's about transforming. And today, we get to watch the transformation in action. So, here's how the showdown will work. Each trainer will get about 20 minutes to deliver their session on a theme or topic of their choice. After each performance, our observers, our audience, will share a quick reflection and feedback. But remember, final scores and winners will be announced during our certification ceremony next week. So give it your best. This is your stage, your story, your signature. And the audience, if you can please turn on your cameras, it's well and good because Megha, Divya, and me, our cameras are turned on. Yes. So thank you so much for joining us. This is for the audience. Before we begin, we have a few tips from Atulith's side. Um, Remember that your energy is contagious. Make it interactive. Stay on time. Be conscious. Own your voice, own your space, and above all, enjoy what you're doing. All right, then, trainers, let's begin the Grand Trainers Showdown. You know, first up, we have Megha, our first trainer. She is stepping into the spotlight with a session on time management. Let's all give her a big round of virtual applause. Over to you, Megha.
Okay, I will share my screen first.
Yes. Bindu, we can't see you.
Um, Radhika, I might not be able to turn on my camera. I'm also traveling.
Oh, no issues. Thank you so much for joining then.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay, all of you. Imagine this. You wake up, you stretch a little, check the clock, and it's already noon. Somehow the hours have vanished, and so has your sense of control. Sounds familiar? Yes? Hello everyone, I'm Megha Pawar, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to today's session on time management, one of the most essential life and workplace skill. Over to next 20 minutes, you will be learning today prioritization technique, stress management, and organization for productivity. We live in a world where everyone seems busy, but being busy is not the same as being productive. So the real question is, are we focusing on the right thing at the right time without burning ourselves out? Before we dive in, Let's warm up with a quick activity. Now, when you hear the word management, okay, or when I say the time management, what's the first word that comes to your mind? It could be something like stress, planner, discipline, or even freedom, whatever comes to your mind. Just take 5 seconds, think of a word, and please type that word in a chat box. Just one word. Lovely. I could see some of the words over here. Yes, organized. Yes, action. Good. These words show how personal time management really is. For some, it's about organization, and for others, it's about peace or productivity. Today, let's find out how to make it work for you. Let's begin by understanding what time management truly means. So, what is time management? In simple words, it's deciding where your time goes instead of wondering where it went. When done right, it helps you work smarter, not harder, achieving more in less time and with less stress. But we all face challenges like procrastination, constant distractions, like we have phone calls, notifications, and like that, or saying yes to everything and burning out. Now, I want you to either type in the chat or raise your hand. Have you faced any of these this week? Okay, yes, Radhika.
Distractions.
Okay.
So
Does anyone else would like to?
it's basically when you're multitasking, you tend to get distracted to the other point
Yes.
while you are doing this.
Yes.
So that I faced this week actually.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Anyone else would like to share? Okay. Yes, Sheila.
Procrastination.
Okay. Procrastination.
Yeah. It happens
Okay.
when you are, it happens with me when I am nervous about the outcome of some work that I've been longing to do. Then I do this.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. We have solutions for this. Recognizing these challenges, whatever you have said right now, is the first step. Once you know what's eating your time, you can take control again. And one of the best way to do that is through prioritization. Let's talk about how to prioritize. Imagine your to-do list has 10 tasks. Which one do you start with? Or easiest, or the latest email, or the one that will really move you forward? This is where prioritization comes. And one of the best tool for this is Eisenhower matrix, as you could see on the screen. Yes. As per it, you should divide your task into 4 boxes based on urgency and importance. Now, what these 4 boxes stands for? First is urgent and important. So, the first box says do that task which is important and do. Now you have to decide, If you have to do that task now, then that is important and urgent. And second box talks about important but not urgent tasks, like the tasks which we can plan. Third box talks about urgent but not important tasks which you can delegate. And the fourth one is neither urgent nor important tasks which you can delete or drop it. Let's make it a little bit interactive. Okay. Which box do most of your tasks fall into? Type in the chat, or you can directly tell me by unmuting yourself whether it is one, two, three, or four. Yes. Radhika said one. Okay. Most of our tasks are urgent only on urgent basis. What about others? Do you plan, or most of your tasks are such which you can delegate? Okay, Divya, planning good. It's good that we should really plan everything beforehand. Yes. Okay. Sheila, would you like to share? Okay. I will go ahead. So, whatever you have shared, interesting. Whatever you felt that your task falls into that box. Most people find themselves stuck in box one, as Radhika shared, always in firefighting mode. But true productivity happens in box two. Divya shared with us that she falls under box two. When we focus on what happens before it becomes urgent, and that is really good. Now, if you find these charts, these tables, or we can say these diagram boxes, like the Eisenhower matrix, too complex, here's another great tool, the ABCDE method. Okay, it's easy to use and perfect for those who like working straight from a list. How can you use it? See, label each of your tasks or whatever the task you have on your list. A, very important task. If you will not do it, you will face serious consequences. B, you, important task. You may face mild consequences. C, nice to do task, which has no consequences. D, you can delegate these tasks. And E, here comes those tasks which you can eliminate. Now, again, I would like you to think of one task from your to-do list right now. Which letter would you assign to it? Whichever task you have right now in your to-do list, just assign to it A, B, C, D, or E as per how it falls under this ABCD. Write it down. That's your starting point for better focus. Okay. Sheila, can you share what is that, which is that task of yours? If you feel like.
I like to do something where I feel nice when I do it. Like I practice a lot of art, like crochet. So I like to start with that, and I keep thinking what I can do along with it next. So that actually enhances my mood to do the rest of the things. So and in the previous table, mine was also the second one
Oh,
because it is important, but it is not urgent. I would prefer to work with a calm pace. So I don't like to rush. And when I rush, I always, you know what happens. So
but
that's.
right now, any one of you have any such task which falls under this ABCDE plan? Right now, something must be going on in your mind. You may have some tasks which you have to. Yes, Divya.
So currently, I have to make a very important decision. I mean, maybe in some time frame that I have to continue with my engineering field, corporate, whatever I used to do for the last 15-20 years, or I should stream and find a new way and go ahead. So that's very important task in my life, which I have to really um, arrive at a decision at maybe in next 15-20 days or a month. So that's my very important task, you can say.
Okay, great. That shows you have understood the method very well. Now, before we move ahead, let me share a short story that perfectly explains prioritization. You may have heard of Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He once showed his students a jar, some big rocks, pebbles, sand, and asked his students to fit them all in. When his students filled the jar with sand first,
Is she the only one stuck on my screen, or
big rocks, am I audible?
now you are?
Okay. So I would like, if you have not heard the story, I would like to just go back a little. So here we are talking about Stephen Covey.
Yes.
Once he showed his students a jar, some big rocks, pebbles, and sand, and asked his students to fit them all in. When they filled the jar with sand first, the big rocks didn't fit. But when they started with the big rocks, everything, the pebbles and sand fit perfectly. Now, his point was the big rocks are your most important task. If you don't schedule them first, your day fills up with sand, the less important ones. Your sand stands for less important stars. This idea connects beautifully with the Pareto principle. Yes, as you could see on your screen, which is also known as the 80-20 rule. It says that 80% of your result comes from your just 20% efforts. Think about it. 20% of your clients bring 80% of your business. 20% of your meetings drives 80% of your progress. And maybe 20% of your task creates 80% of your success. The key is to identify those big rocks, your top 20, and give them your best focus, energy, and time. I hope you have got all these three prioritization techniques very well. Now, even after doing such a great planning, stress can sneak in. So, how do we manage it? Let's try something right now. Now, all of you, take a deep breath with me. Inhale, pause, exhale. See, just 5 seconds and you already feel calmer. That's your first step to managing stress mindfully. We have some other quick tools which you can use daily. One of it is named as Pomodoro technique, which tells us that we should, for, for 25 minutes, we should focus on the work and we should work with full focus for 25 minutes. And then we should take 5 minutes break. This works very well. It's very effective. Then next thing, you should set boundaries for yourself. Learn to say no when needed. Also, maintain balance. You should also schedule your rest like you schedule your meetings. When you manage your stress, you manage your energy, and that's what fuels productivity. Once you have calmed the chaos within, it's turn to bring order outside through organization. Think for a moment, what's one area in your life that feels disorganized right now? Your desk, your inbox, daily schedules? Pick one and type in the chat box, or you can directly tell me by unmuting yourself. That's your focus for today. Yes, the most common one.
For me, it is digital decluttering.
Okay, okay. Gmail accounts, yes, I can understand. Divya, very well. You know, most of us don't lose time because of lack of efforts. We lose it searching for things, whether it's a misplaced document, a cluttered inbox, or forgotten deadlines. Disorganization silently steals our focus. So let's bring a little system in our day. You can try this, as Radhika said. So start doing digital decluttering once a week. Try to group similar tasks. Like you can put some tasks like emails, calling, if you have to call someone or you have to make some reports. Try to group them together. And the most important, end your day by planning your next day. Okay? So these things will help you a lot. By the way, research shows that the average professionals spend about 28% of their work week just managing emails. Imagine how much focus and energy we could reclaim by planning and organizing smarter. The more your organized environment, the more clarity your mind gains. Now that we have explored time, prioritization, then stress, and systems, let's make this practical. Think of one thing you will start doing differently from today. Will it be Eisenhower matrix, Pomodoro technique, or maybe just decluttering or your digital space? What you will like to start from today?
I would go in for Eisenhower.
Okay, okay. Pomodoro technique. Okay,
I would go with Eisenhower too.
okay. So before sleeping today, write down your task for tomorrow using, as you said, either Eisenhower matrix or ABCD method, whichever. Always focus on your 20% high impact tasks, which are considered as your rocks, because time is life. The way you manage your time is the way you manage your life. Or as I like to say, time is like sand. Hold it gently but with purpose. Now, before we wrap up, I would like to hear from you. What is your biggest takeaway from today's session, or one time waster? I can say it like this. You will consciously eliminate this week. You can type it, or directly you can tell me by muting yourself. Okay. I see.
We can speak.
Yeah, you can directly, as I said, you can unmute and speak.
Yeah. So, one time waster, I guess, I don't know, of late when I travel. Once you start looking at the Instagram reels, like a teenager, I'm getting addicted to looking at it. I just keep telling myself another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes, while I can do much better tasks. So, that is something maybe I would really look into this week. It was not there before, but this is a habit that I've suddenly developed. God only knows why.
That is very addictive. Yes. Anything, any take different methods that we can follow too. Okay, Sheila. Yes, Divya.
A little more organization of thoughts, and even regards to like the email, like compartment, and sorting out emails as and when they come, rather than like now my Gmail is like it's completely full. I'm not able to do anything. Even today I could not use the Google Drive to store this presentation. I had to tell my husband, so I have to sit down and do that. So that's a big task for me, so I'll definitely take up that work.
Okay. Thank you for sharing responses. Now, as we have come towards the end of the session, we are open for a Q&A. If you have any question, any thing you want to ask, we are open for that. Sorry, I'm open for that.
I am good because I find it very clear actually.
Anything Divya, Sheila would like to? Okay.
And I
Then
was pretty clear with whatever you explained. It's just that I have to implement it in my daily life.
okay. Thank you so much for your wonderful participation energy, and a big thanks to Atulith Academy for this great platform. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure spending the time with you all. Let's make every minute count. Okay. Thank you,
Beau-
everyone.
Beautifully done, Megha. You can stop sharing. Yes. Fantastic. Thank you for the insightful and engaging session. Over to Sheila and Divya. What did you feel about the presentation? We would really love to have your valuable feedback.
Megha, as always, it was very insightful and enlightening. And I think the flow was, I mean, I liked it the way you started and then you engaged us with the activities, which was so connected with the topic that you were discussing, which went on very well. And you were very relaxed when compared to all the other sessions, I would say. So
Okay.
great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also found it very calm and composed, and there was, there was certain amount of pause given wherever it was required. It went on very lucidly throughout, and you gave us time to think and understand what are you saying. Even if you gave us three different type of models, but all three models you gave us certain there was a full stop in between each. It was not bombardment of all three types. So I think I found it really very nice and insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, audience, for your valuable feedback. Now, now that we are done with Megha, It's time for Divya. We have Divya over here who is going to take us through mind mapping and the techniques behind it. Over to you, Divya.
Thank you. So, as Megha had talked about time management, I think I can take the same topic a little more forward and present my views on how can you organize yourself. So, I'll start with presentation. Sorry, I'll just do it again. Good evening, everyone. So, Friday evening, right? Everyone has plans, but believe me, I will send you home with some good inputs which will make you think all the weekend. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by ideas, tasks, deadlines? Like you're in the middle of storm and there's a complete chaos. So, what if I tell you there is a simple tool which will help you in decluttering the whole thing and converting the whole chaos into clarity? Do you agree? What do you think? Can this happen? I would
Maybe.
like to hear from you too. Do you believe there is a tool which will help you in decluttering and completely coming out of the chaos? Do you believe my words?
I don't think so.
Right now, for yeah, I don't think
Yes.
so.
Right. Okay. So at the end of this 20-minute session, I hope I can completely change your opinion and you all say, yes, we can do it and we will try this tool. So let me start by a personal experience which I had. This was in 12th standard when we all are at the crossroads. What is to be done with life? PCM, PCMB, maths, biology, BSc, MSc. What is to be done? And we group of students were really bogged down with this idea. So a professor of mine called us all students inside and told us, "What's bothering you all?" When we told him, "Sir, we feel I should took medical, but I think it's too long journey. So much of study is taken to it. Or should I do engineering? Or should I just do BSc and then jo hoga so dekha jayega?" That's when he told us, "My dear students, life is not so easy. But if you make it messy, you will never come out of it. So I'll tell you a simple tool. What you have to do is just pick up a paper and pencil and write down what do you think you should make out of life? What do you feel in the next 15 to 20 years? What do you would like you to see yourself?" So, coming from a family of bankers, for me, engineering, medical were all new areas. But when he told us this simple concept of just sitting down and visualizing yourself, we felt, this is so easy. And maybe after a month or so, we were clear. At least if we get this marks, I'll take up this branch. If I am in this slot, I'll take up this. So, this is how mind mapping came into my life. I have been practicing this since last 15 to 20 years and it has helped me to come out of many situations in life, not only academic but relationships and some crucial stages of my life where I felt stuck. So, this is similar to each one of us during Diwali do a decluttering of a house. But do we ever do decluttering of a mind? No. But it's very important. It's very important to organize your thoughts in a structured manner. So, mind mapping does the same thing. Can we move to the next slide, please? So, this is how our mind is generally. So many things to handle: work, family, self care, social events, kitty parties, and what not. And everywhere we have to shine, we have to be perfect, right? But what do we have to do so that things are much more smoother? Can we go to the next slide, please? So, what is mind mapping? So, basically, mind mapping is a visual tool which helps to bring order to purpose. It's basically helps in organizing our information. It works in the same way, just like our mind. It's a web of thoughts which is organized. Can we go to the next slide, please? So, how does this work? Basically, it has a center theme. So the center theme is what you want. So if I want to launch a product in the market, so the center theme is the product itself. What are the branches? The branches may be what is the competitors, what is the target audience, what is the market that I want to target it, and what is the sales that I expect. This is with regards to a product launch. Similarly, if you have a educational sector, the mind mapping tool can also be utilized in the same manner. So, this mind mapping is used for a business strategy, service sector, or an educational sector. There are many ways of doing mind mapping. This is just one of an example. This is called as concept map. Similarly, we have a flow chart which is in a linear manner. So basically, this mind mapping, what does this mind mapping do? So, our traditional methods involve a linear way of thinking. This mind map helps you in structuring your thoughts, and the branches, just like a river, flows, and it as it flows, it has its branches and tributaries. The mind map works on the same concept. So, a central thought is emphasized and slowly, and you take it forward. Can you take the next slide, please? So, how do you build the mind map? So, these are 4 to 5 steps which can help you in building a mind map. First is the information. What is the basic information that you want to build a map? For example, maybe I want as a student to target for my 10th standard exam. So, second is preparation. How do I prepare for the exams? What are the steps involved? So once I know what is my target, plus I need to set a target also. Like in the next 6 months, I'll have my board exams. So how do I prepare for the exam? So that once the whole thing is done, then what you have to do is conceptualize the whole process. Once you conceptualize the whole process, you create a mind map. Now, what is the beauty of mind map? A mind map is not really which is a set. You can edit it, you can go rewind and change it. There can be sub branches, and you can review and update the information. Just like pruning a plant, wherever you feel no, this is not going my way, you can just go back and change it. Now, you may feel this is an old method, but believe me, this method was used by Leonardo da Vinci plus Isaac Newton on his voyage and scientist journey. The father of mind mapping is Tony Braz, who in 1970 conceptualized the whole, and it has been taken forward then. Many softwares are also available who I would prefer the pen and pencil method, but there are many people who want softwares. There are many softwares available in market also, like Miro and Xmind, which can be used beautifully to set your mind map. Next. So, what does this mind map do? Basically, it breaks down your complex information into smaller chunks. It is easy to communicate. just imagine a book of 500 pages is broken down into smaller versions wherein you get what is inside the book, which helps you in interpreting the whole book. Similarly, mind map works on the same basis. This technique helps in knowledge recall and helps in tailing the end result. Basically, you can anytime go back to the original and see the process. Where did you start and how, what is the process? How have you come further? So, along with, like I said, it's not only project management which can be done with a help of mind map. Along with this, can you go to the next slide, please? So, in our sessions, this is what we have been using. Basically, it's a game development template, and we give them a small sound, story, or objective. Now, let's do it like this. Just imagine we all have to go on a vacation, a solo trip, or maybe we have to climb Everest. Can this happen overnight? No. Can you just think about how do you plan a vacation? What are the, you need not share it with me. You can just try to either jot it down on a paper or even in your mind. If I have to plan a vacation, a solo vacation, leaving my family behind, how will you plan the whole thing? Do you think this mind mapping will help you in the process?
Definitely. Yes.
Correct. And it's
Yes.
not very, and it's not a very tried, it's not restricted manner. It is not a restricted plan. You can always change. For example, now if I say I'm going to a solo trip to X and Y place, right? So what I have to do is I have to ensure that my family is in place, my child is taken care, there's a cook or there's a maid, right? So the family is sorted. Next thing, you have to plan for yourself. For example, if it requires a lot of energy, like walking, then you have to ensure your physical fitness. So that is one branch of the mind mapping. Similarly, there can be many branches to the whole thought of vacation, which maybe you may not emphasize when you just think, okay, I'm going to a vacation. And like Megha said, no, at the end of the maybe 15 or 10 days before the your solo trip, all these thoughts come into your mind. So if you do this mind mapping, this will help you in dividing your process and come out of it very nicely. Can you just go to the next? Yes. So this is how mind mapping works. So at the center is my central portion. Now these are the branches. So what does it do? It aligns with your brain works. Just like I mentioned earlier, our mind, our brain is a web of thoughts. It doesn't think on linear lines. So when you do this webbing thing, you are actually replicating how your mind works. And it's easy to understand process. It has few variables and it's a low pressure when you begin with. As in when you go on, it can be improvised. And everything fits in very easily and automatically. Branches, sub branches can be added, deleted, and it's a very flexible process. And the most important thing, which I think I forgot to mention, it's a visual aid. It's pleasing to your eyes. You can see it. You can see the whole flow of process and whole thoughts, like the one I'll be sharing in the next slide. So if you can see, these are two to three mind mapping which I have shared. The one is where a child has to go to a school. The second is the one wherein you have to prepare for an examination. The third is a project planning. Although there are many softwares available for project planning, but still, when you start, if you try this process, slowly and steadily, you can shift into an advanced planning system. And the fourth one, the most important, self care. This mind mapping also helps you in decluttering your mind. At what stage of life you are you happy? And if you're not, what needs to be done? What is the route that you need to take so that you achieve that self care? So basically, the whole purpose of mind mapping helps you in organizing and structuring your thought. So, as I said, this mind mapping is just a visual aid. Unless you achieve them and plan and stick to the plan, things will not work. So, with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Lovely, very, very nicely put, Divya. And kudos to you. We really, really enjoyed the entire thing. It really got us so interested. We were actually looking into all the, what do you call, slides that you have made. And my personal favorite being, how happy are you? So that's a question which all of us need to put ourselves, put to ourselves. It's a because no matter where we are running or what we are doing, that's really important. So that really, I was very concentrated on that part. And fantastic, it was very, very good. Over to the audience for their reflections. Yes, Megha.
Yes, Divya, I liked the presentation and the way you presented it. It was very well presented, and the topic, the way you covered and explained each and everything, and the importance of mind mapping. Today, I really got to know in detail a lot. I had heard about it, but today I got to know in detail about it, and the way you explained it, really, it is going to be helpful to everyone over here. So it was really a good presentation, and the way you explained it really made everything clear to me about mind mapping. Thank you, Divya.
It was a great presentation, Divya, as always. And I like as usual, the flow. And as Megha said, it was so intense and very engaging. We were quite curious about the content that was presented. And yeah, mind mapping was something new for me. I had heard about it, but how it works, I just got an idea after listening to you. Great job. All you need to do is you have a nice smile. Have that when you speak. It adds to your presentation.
Absolutely. Yes. So, as we come to the end of the Grand Trainer Showdown, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come, because I know the difference. I hope you do too. From your first hesitant lab to this confident showcase, you've not just learned skills, you've become facilitators who can lead learning experiences with impact. Every session today had a piece of your story, your belief, your growth. That's what makes this final challenge special, because it's a reflection of you. The winners of the Grand Trainer Showdown will be announced during our Wave 1.0 certification ceremony next week. So stay tuned and come dressed to celebrate, because every trainer here is already a winner in growth. On behalf of the Atulith team, a big thank you to all our trainers and observers. You've made Wave 1.0 a benchmark for excellence. Let's give a round of applause for each one of you over here who took this stage with courage and creativity. So until next week, keep facilitating, keep inspiring, and keep being Atulith. It's a wrap for Wave 1.0 from Radhika Kotha, your host. Thank you so much.
Thank you.